Hi friends, welcome back to the shop for another surprising episode.
Surprising.
Surprise! We're back on Project Harold quite unexpectedly.
Yeah, and look, it's where it has never been, on the lift. And as you saw by the initial splash screen, what could go wrong will go wrong. And that's just basically natural for us and our freaking projects. So to bring you up to speed on why we have this video, when we made the decision to take a little mental break from our projects and pass Harold over to our good friends over at Golden Rule.
Outsourcing.
Yeah, outsourcing. If you can, why not? Especially for mental health. So when we passed Harold over to Golden Rule to finish up the last bit of odds and ends, we also discovered that there was a problem with the transmission. We have the Turbo 400 on the truck, and it would not go into drive and reverse. We could get it in neutral, we could push it just fine. So we had their transmission guy take a look at it, and lo and behold, it needs to come out for a rebuild.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Which is kind of funny because when we parked Harold, however long ago it was movable under its own power. And then somehow just no longer.
Yeah, in the matter of 2 years and changing the pan and the fluid, now for some reason the pump is not working. So maybe me going against my own advice of if it's fine, don't f with it. That is where I probably went wrong. I've always said don't touch a transmission unless there's a problem. And then I went against my own advice. Try to change fluid and try to put a pretty pan on it. So boys and girls, leave it alone if there's no problems.
No
with
pretty pans.
Yeah, no pretty pans. So in order to save some money, we are going to do what we have never done before, and that is actually drop the transmission here in the shop so we can take it over to a very cool and old-fashioned transmission shop to have them rebuild it much quicker than we can. So this should be fun. This should be exciting for us and also nerve-wracking.
Fun.
So join along. This is not a how-to at all. This is just for those 1, 2, 3 of you that are following along on this build.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, maybe 4. To see what shenanigans we're doing next and why. So next is to get this big beast up a little bit higher so we can go and then go ahead and start to take all the necessary pieces off. Let me guide it that way. Take it back down this way, up this way, so you can get it down below the axle. Okay. All right, first part's done. That big old beefy drive shaft is out. Okay, we've disconnected our kickdown switch, we've disconnected our shift linkage, and unbolted our bolts from the cross member. Now we'll go ahead and move on over to the torque converter, take the bolts out from there. Keep going. Yeah, I'll tell you when to stop. You just. Right there. That was not on there.
Okay, so we're looking from the back side of the transmission towards the engine, towards the front, and there are 3 bolts that you can see, 2 on the side and 1 up top. And they are mirror images on the driver's side that we're on and the passenger side. Those have to come off. Yippee!
But we have to make sure we take off the 2 lower ones first, then support the transmission, and then take off the top ones.
I'm sorry, say that again? How much fun are we gonna have?
Just a little.
Just a little fun?
Ooh, but wait, there's more.
Aw, damn it.
Show him this.
Did you do Murphy's Law? You did Murphy's Law, didn't you?
So this is our speedo cable. We were supposed to take it off the transmission. Guess what? It was not on the transmission. It was tucked up into the frame. And the cable itself was so rusted that it broke apart in my hands. Some more parts. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Tight spaces.
I can't get to it.
I was about to say, do you need the Subaru spark plug technician to report for duty?
Got it.
Goodness, that's some girth, some length. Some length on that.
Very good. It'll fall on you a little bit. All right, now I think you're just about free for the front. Like if we continue lowering it down, and then we can. All right, let's push it my way. There's no push it your way. The jack is gonna have to come down. Hold on. It's going down. All right, so I might be able to move it a little bit.
Wait until Aaron has 2 hands on it. It's literally sliding off of that towel.
Okay. See if you can slide the torque converter off. Just pull the black thing out.
Yes, that's the big round thing is the torque converter.
Be careful for what?
The fluid getting everywhere.
Well,
you don't want to tip it over.
Okay, so the fluid's in this.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Tracking now.
Yeah, you're clear.
Yep. It's a heavy donut.
Okay.
All right, it needs to come down some more.
Okay.
I need to slide forward a little bit.
Tell me when.
Yep. You know, just keep on going with it.
Let me get my
Hold on. Let me move it a little bit now. All right, now see if you could take your air gun to it and go ahead and lower it the rest of the way.
You just put the towel in the way for that.
Whoa. Be careful there. All right, go ahead. That's it.
That's it. That's all the down you get.
Okay. Dip sticky. Would you like to grab my stick? All right.
Going along with it?
We're gonna have to raise the truck up.
Yeah.
All right, I'll hop in the back and push, and then you can slide. Well, you saw Aaron and I struggling to get that transmission out, and it's because I was a lazy ass. I did not want to take the time to cut these brackets off, and I really didn't think we needed to. But they were, as you can see, still riveted to the frame.
A few moments later.
All right, 5 days later and $1,000 less in the bank account. Ugh, that part alone hurts. But it could have been worse, because Rich's transmission here in our area in Ohio was significantly less expensive and incredibly fast with how they did this. The next shop in line, almost double the price, and instead of 5 days, it would have taken them over 3 weeks based on their availability. So 3 days in, Rich calls me, lets me know that he's into it, lets me know that he found some issues, and some were expected based on the diagnosis from our friends over at Golden Rule. The others were not, and I'll share that with you. So here we are at the end. We've got the transmission back. It's fully rebuilt, and we got some new goodies in it, and we learned a lot. So let me walk you through on what those were before we get it back into the truck, because I'm ready, really ready to test this thing out. All right, the very first thing is the torque converter. This is not the one that we actually had in it. When we dropped off the one that came out of the transmission there with Rich asked me what it came out of, because it was not one that came out of a 400. After researching, he still came up with a blank as to what in the world it came out of. But because of that, we needed to go ahead and send it on its way and get the right one. So he hooked us up with a Recon certified torque converter. This is a high performance for a turbo 400, and this one is by Transtar. So excited to get the right one in there now. Another new goodie is the vacuum modulator. The one that we had on there, much bigger, bent, dented up. So he went ahead and hooked us up with a newer style that are smaller. This right here with the transmission fluid lines really had me puzzled. I asked him about it, and one of the techs there at the shop said that typically those that run it this way are hot rodding, and it's not smart from a longevity standpoint. Could you do it? Sure, you could, but it's just not smart. So what we're going to end up doing to rectify this, we're going to mate the Turbo 400 up with this Derail Performance transmission cooler. This will be a separate episode, but I'm excited to get this one in there and hopefully keep this transmission going for a long time without another rebuild. So the one thing that we knew was an issue was regarding the pump, and the pump gear was definitely sheared. So we're glad that was discovered. Rich also said that there was rust inside the transmission on a lot of pieces. I honestly don't know if the transmission was sitting before it got put into this truck. I know the last owner was a diesel mechanic, and who knows what he pulled from where to end up building a lot of this stuff. But thankfully, he sanded it all down. It's all resolved and taken care of. One other thing that we're going to end up doing is taking care of one item that our good friend Greg from Nova Scotia happened to notice when I was sharing some pictures of the truck with him through some emails, that we don't have a vacuum modulator line that runs from the transmission up to the intake. So we're going to take care of that piece of it, and hopefully that will help change the gears when it's shifting the right way. I have no idea how in the world this thing was driven without that, but we're going to get it back to the way that it's supposed to go. So let's go ahead and work on getting this thing back inside the truck and then test it. All right, all back in and torqued down. That cross member was a royal pain in the ass. It cleared that it had either never been unbolted or it has been a very long time due to the amount of rust. So once again, while we're in here, I went ahead and took wire wheels to it, brought it all back down to the bare metal, and then painted it all. Now it's time to go ahead and put him back on the ground, put some fluid in, see if he moves.
We got all the gears, man.
Woo! Yes. Oh man, oh man. Well, I didn't do it on camera, but bet your ass I was dancing knowing that he's actually moving under his own power again. The nerves incredibly high. So, next steps. Ordered a new speedo cable, so that is coming in. Got the transmission cooler that needs to go in. I've got new Flowmaster Super 44s. Those need to be installed with the full exhaust. That's likely going to be next because I want to get that done. Then we got a couple of odds and ends to work out. We've got fuel gauge issue, so I got a new fuel gauge that's going to go in, a new horn's going in, alignment, and hopefully that's it. So maybe the weather will work in our favor, no more snow for this year, and we can try to get him out on the road at some point. But nevertheless, we really appreciate you following along. For the few of you that are on this build, we're getting there, but one step forward, two steps back. You know how it is with these builds. But we appreciate you following along nevertheless. And until next episode, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.